So, Facebook pages are now bringing the timeline that has been on personal profiles to businesses. So, for business pages, as you can see, such as Starbucks here, you will now have a cover photo, you'll have. So the timeline feature, which was previously only available for personal profiles, is now available for business. And as of March 30th, 2012, all businesses will be switching over to the new timeline layout. So you need to be able to understand how it works and how to make it work for your company. So as you can see, there's an example of the Starbucks page here. And this page you can find at facebook.com/about/pages, and it's an introduction to the pages, and it gives you links to a few of the big brands that are currently using the new layout. And I'm just going to quickly go through a few of my favorites and a few little tips that I've seen from what big brands are doing at the moment with their timeline. So the first one we're going to go over to is Red Bull, and as you can see here, they have got a nice kind of hypnotic image. It's not really a specific thing that is being put across. It's not one of their products per se, but it has got their brand reinforced, and it just looks good. It feels good when you arrive at the page, and they've got their logo again. Reinforced in their profile picture. So what they do differently on this page is they have these little apps down the side, and with the way things were previously, you could have landing pages for your Facebook fan page, so that when people arrive, they'd automatically go to something you've created. But now on the new layout, everybody will be arriving at your timeline as standard. So any of these apps that you were previously using will now go into this section where you can see up to 4 on the first line, and you can click that arrow to get more. But these can still link to, say, if you have a squeeze page, or if you have a collection of say, a competition sweepstakes. Your photos will always be there. That is the number one, but you can rearrange the rest of these, and that's what they've done here. They've added links to their site, they've added links to games and things they control. So this is a really interactive page. There's lots you can do with the Red Bull page, as well as the traditional timeline which they have. Another thing they do is Red Bull manage multiple brands. They've actually included a like box. So if you have a website that links in with lots of brands, or you're in part of a network, then you can also link to your other brands in a like box like this. So that's a few things that really stand out for me about the Red Bull page. So moving on, I'm going to go over to the Livestrong page. And the reason that I've picked this one is because within your cover shot, you're not allowed to have any call to actions or any arrows pointing, anything like that. So that's just to avoid it coming across as an advert. You can't have, say, coupons and things. So if you want to highlight certain areas, you have to get a bit more creative with it. And that's what Livestrong have really done here. They've got this really bold yellow on black design that leads the audience's eye along the page, down and straight into the like button, and obviously the blog content down here as well. But that means that your eye is really, really drawn to the like button without them explicitly saying, hey, look, click here, add us, subscribe. And it's just a really nice, subtle way of getting people to take their eyes' attention to the like button. So that was the main thing that stood out for me on the Livestrong page. Obviously they have milestones, and they're using the pinned features as well. And they have also linked to a number of organizations that they're linked with. But the main takeaway from their page was this: if you can get creative with how you're highlighting the like button, that is probably going to help more people to actually click through and decide to make that like. So moving on, we have the Coca-Cola page, And again, this is just really, really subtle cues that they have, but they've got their brand front and center. There's kind of happy people. There's lots of smiling faces. So they're really engaging on a personal level, because really it's just a sugary drink, but they've added the human element to it. So you can see people having a fun time holding the Coke, somebody relaxing in the park on a summer's day, and they're just really reinforcing their brand's message. But at the same time, they also have their subtle cues to go to the like button. Their logo that is bright white, it stands out. People tend to read words that are available, and it's right next to the like button. So as your eyes are drawn to look at the Coca-Cola logo, they can fall down and they'll also look at the like button. And down here, they've actually got a stories page, but with the image of the stories, if you see, that woman is actually looking up at the like button as well. And as humans, we're kind of, I don't know if it's inherited or it's learned, but we tend to follow people's gaze. So if you see somebody looking across the street, you'll tend to look over there and wonder what they're looking at. And that's what they've cleverly put in here. On their app, they've used an image where she's actually looking up at the like button. So anyone that looks at this subconsciously is more likely to then look up to see what she's looking at, even though it's just an image, and click on the like button if they feel so inclined. So again, there's just lots of ways you can get creative with the presentation of your page, even though you can't explicitly add any call to actions for the like button. And then on the Coke page, you still have just the general timeline features. So they've not done as much on the actual timeline itself. And then the final one that I want to bring your attention to is Ben and Jerry's. And the reason I'm showing you this one is because whilst Coca-Cola had their app available with the woman looking up at the like button, with Ben and Jerry's they've actually just got events programmed into the page. So you can see here it's actually framed their image and it says free cones. So if I like ice cream, I come to the Ben and Jerry's page, I'm going to look straight over there and I see that I can get a free cone by clicking on their event. And then if you had, again, images that are kind of subtly looking up towards the like button, pointing, nothing too explicit, but it really just encourages the user to pay attention to this part of the page. We've got a big cow, we've got the event, it's all just focused around the like button. This area is pretty sparse, you've got the logo, but again, this is the money area. This is where people are paying attention to. So you can't be as explicit, but there are still plenty of ways that you can perhaps encourage people to like your page, pay attention to that part of your page, and then have fun with the branding at the top. You'll notice that all of these have filled out a compelling call to action or description of what their page is, a description of their mission statement, or a description of their product. So really, it's just with the new Facebook timeline, marketing as we know it to date is gone. Subtle marketing relating to the customer and really just these subtle hints and gentle nudging, that's really going to be the new form of Facebook marketing for the landing page. And you can still have competitions, you can still have incentives, you can still even have landing pages, but you will have to click through. So you will have to give some sort of incentive and draw people's attention to these boxes for anything other than your typical content. So that's just a brief overview of the new pages. If you haven't started one yet, you can go to facebook.com/about pages and you can upgrade your existing pages to the new timeline or start a new page and get using this straight away. All brands are going to be switching to this from the 30th of March 2012. So the earlier you can get on and start preparing your business, the better prepared you'll be when everybody moves over to the new timeline layout. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and I'll talk to you again soon.